forward ahead. We have Pratip Chaudhuri, former chairman at SBI, as well as Rattan Power India MD Rajiv Rattan with us. Pratip, let me come to you first. Mr. Chaudhuri, what do you make of this entire judgment? How big a relief do you think it is for the power companies? And is it a relief for the banking sector, or how would you look into this?
No, it is a castigation of RBI, which does not want to, soil its hands or get into the details, but issues fiat as if they're coming from another planet. So it is necessary for RBI to get more involved, and I would think that RBI should file a review petition in the court and request that all the parties may be directed to come together on a forum. Particularly it concerns the thermal power plants, the coal, the rail, and the DISCOM, which has given the PPA, to see how it can be resolved. Because to say, the bank board will take a decision, bank board is also at a loss. Because if this decision means a 50% provisioning, because any restructuring invites provisioning, so the bank's capital position may not allow. And what is the comfort? That you make the provisioning, the money will come back unless we fix the long-term solutions. So, in fact, when Allahabad High Court had directed that a group be formed with Ministry of Finance and RBI and Power Ministry, RBI refused to send a representative. I think they need to shed that attitude that it does not bother me. I am not in the country to solve issues, but I am only there to highlight issues and precipitate issues. So RBI has to become more proactive in this. And I think when the request or the mandate or the support comes from RBI, all other agencies would be more responsive. At least more responsive than the banks when they make this request.
Okay, all right. Mr. Rajiv Rattan is also joining us, so let's get in his perspective also. Rattan, India was also one of the several petitioners when it comes to, this whole development. Mr. Rattan, if you could also fill us in, how big a relief are you now looking at for your company and for the entire power space?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I really applaud the Supreme Court on the judgment. I would like to make a few points here. First, power is a core infrastructure. This is more core than airports or roads. I mean, one needs it 24 hours a day. Demand is growing. And the way it is structured in India, especially people who are taking coal from, let's say, Coal India, you are basically taking coal from one arm of the government and then hauling it using another arm of the government, which is railways, and then burning it and selling the power to an arm of the state government, which is a distribution company. So in this entire chain, there are all these government entities involved, and the situation has become extremely complex and needs to be simplified. As part of the court process, Allahabad High Court had asked Cabinet Secretary to form a committee and assess the reasons of stress. And that high-level empowered committee came out with its report. And in that report, if you see the reasons of stress, there is only one reason attributed to promoters, which is lack of equity for completing the projects. So like both of our plants are complete, Nasik and Amravati, but they have stress because of a variety of reasons. So government recognized that, post that they formed a group of ministers. After that, the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs in early March approved the decisions of GOM. Before that, there have been parliamentary standing committees on energy, which recognize the stress. So we just can't wish it away. This is not a problem of merely the promoters and the lenders. The system has to get together and find solutions, and which this judgment will give us time to do that. There is a recognition from every quarter that, yes, the stress is largely beyond the control of promoters, and something needs to be done. And earlier, there was a huge pressure on the banks to haul everyone into NCLT merely because the circular was there. So that is no longer there. And I think real problem solving can happen now. We can wait for the effects of Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs decisions pursuant to the higher level empowered committee recommendations. We can wait for those effects to trickle down. because the sector needs to be solved. It is in everybody's interest. Otherwise, this country is staring at a power shortage in 2 to 3 years' time. And thermal coal for us is a national security asset. We import petroleum, but we have enough coal. We have 100 years plus of reserves. What are we going to do
Right,
after
Rajiv.
20 years? Who will let us burn coal
Right.
at that time?
Rajiv, what is your sense? How big a relief is this for the power sector, at least in the near term?
This is a huge relief. Now people can get to real problem-solving asset by asset. When I say the people, basically the lenders and promoters and the different government arms, they can get down to problem-solving. I think this is a huge relief to the sector.
Chaudhuri, give us a perspective from the banker standpoint, because we've seen the banking industry, especially the PSU banks, reel under severe pressure, and Feb 12th circular has also had a great deal to do with that. The rise in GNPAs, the increased losses. If you look at the Q4 results of last year as well. So give us a sense of what kind of a impact would it have going forward when it comes to the banking space. Mr. Chaudhuri, give us your perspective about the impact it could have going forward on banks, especially PSU banks. I think we may have lost that line, so we'll try to reconnect with Mr. Chaudhuri. Meantime, Mr. Rattan is still with us. So, Mr. Rattan, talk to us about, what will be the next step? How is the, resolution process, of course, is likely to vary from company to company after, this big development has happened. But, when can we finally see, the power sector come out of those blues, come out once again, turn profitable, or start, sort of seeing some improvement in their financials?
Now we have to talk to our lenders and various government arms involved in the whole process. We await implementation of the decisions of the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs. So all those things will take some time. I think overall time could be 6 months to a year. But I think these are steps in the right direction. Moreover, people are realizing that, especially for power, unlike steel or any other sector where you are selling to masses or retail market, here merely by sending to NCLT would not give a solution. For example, if a plant does not have coal linkage or a power purchase agreement, then that plant will not get a coal linkage and a power purchase agreement when it goes to NCLT. So if there is no solution here, then there is no buyer there also for such a plant. So that realization is there with everyone, and I think now, especially once the new after elections the government comes in, I'm sure they will be coming in with some real hard decisions to restore confidence in the sector and to set it right.
Right, Rajiv. Thanks so much for taking our time for us. Always good to get perspective from you. On that note, we're taking a break, our first on the show. Coming back quickly. Stay tuned for more.